Laura, we're good to go when you are.
Awesome. Hi, Brad.
Hey.
We're going with a couple of media members here in the press box. Um, First question, Mark Turner with Last Word on Soccer. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Brad.
Hey.
Congratulations on the defeat. Josh just got done telling us that in the locker room afterwards, he was telling you guys not to be disappointed, but to be pissed off because he felt like you guys acquitted yourself well, and all that was missing was that final goal, obviously. How do you feel at the end of the game? How were the guys feeling before Josh addressed in the locker room, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, frustrated is definitely a word I would use. Pissed off is definitely a word I would use. I mean, sometimes this game can be super cruel. If you look at the stat lines and you watch that game, you would know that, I think we deserve more out of that game. I mean, we had the chances. We were there in front of goal. The only real chances they had were off of mistakes that we made, and they capitalized on one of them. So it's a tough one just because I think we deserve so much more. And, yeah, I think we're all a little bit pissed off just because that's kind of the way our season's going. We feel at the end of the day that we deserve so much more out of these games, and it's not falling our way.
Thank you, Brad. Next up, Chris Bills with Striker Texas.
Yeah, Brad. You guys obviously it's been 2 weeks since you last played here, and you were building some good momentum. Did you feel like the layoff maybe took any of that away from you guys in terms of the confidence that you were kind of coming into this match, and maybe the sharpness in some moments?
No. I think from the very first whistle, we were locked in. We were good. We were looking at how they were playing, how they were building up, how they were pressing. And, I mean, for that entire game, we dominated possession. We were breaking lines with our passes. We were getting into the box. And, like I said, it was just a couple moments there in the first half where we just lost the ball, turned the ball over in our half, and they transitioned and capitalized. I thought the guys looked really fresh. I think the guys looked really hungry, and I think we competed our asses off tonight. And like I said, it's disappointing not getting the result.
Thank you, Chris Bills. Do you have a hand up?
No. Eric can go.
All right, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, Brad, so you've been a part of teams that have been playoff teams and who can go into a match and capitalize on those mistakes, even if necessarily the ball's not bouncing, the way the entire match. Is there anything that kind of separates that a team that can capitalize on those mistakes versus one that, even with the majority of chances, has difficulty putting them away?
If I had that answer, I'd be getting paid a lot more and be coaching a team, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is we put ourselves in the position to win this game tonight. The energy we had was great. The guys worked their asses off. Yeah, I honestly, for me, that performance that we just put in is fantastic, and that's what a playoff team looks like. We just didn't get the result. If we were able to do that all year with that type of effort and scored goals earlier on, I think we're having a very different discussion. But it's just kind of the way the season has gone, and we haven't capitalized on enough games, and yeah, we are where we are.
Thank you, Brad. We have time for 2 more questions. Chris Bills take the next question, and then Cam Kubik take the last one.
Sure,
Great.
Brad. There was kind of a lot of talk last time around when you guys had a midweek match, and not everybody went. I guess, what's the thought process this time around as far as for yourself and some of the other guys? How badly you want to play after this result, in a few days, and I guess just that idea of rotation and how necessary it is especially after you don't get the result on the front end of a stretch like that right now.
Yeah, I mean, you ask any player, and they'll say that they want to play every single game no matter what. It's not really up to a player whether he plays or not. That all stems from our medical staff, our sports science department, and our coaching staff. They'll look at the numbers tonight, and they'll look at everybody's outputs. They'll look to see who was a little bit too heavy. But, I mean, this week is a little bit different. Last week we went Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. So our turnaround times were extremely short. We also went into altitude, which made things a little bit more difficult. This 3-game week, we go Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. So we get a couple extra days in there to recover and regen. And obviously San Jose is a little bit of a longer trip, but it's not at altitude. But that'll be a coaching decision. That'll be a sports science decision, and they'll check in with guys. But I can guarantee you that every single player on our roster wants to be on that field come game day.
Thank you, Brad. Cam Cubic, go ahead and take that last question.
Hey, Brad. For me, one of the standout moments at the back tonight was when Johan made that recovery tackle and you went up and gave him a big shout and a hug. Can you just speak a little bit to how you feel the continuity of the group is shown in moments like that, and how you guys feel like you've evolved as a defensive unit this season?
Man, I was so proud of that back line today. Like, watching Julio and watching Romagna battle and win almost every single aerial duel that they were part of. They were stepping up. They were making sure guys didn't turn. They were covering back, making sure guys didn't get easy shots on goals. They were breaking lines, finding our wingers, finding our 10s into space and creating attacks. I think that by far was the best game I've seen those two play. And I'm just so proud of them and so happy for them that they were able to do that. It's just unfortunate that we gave up a goal so early in the match. And, I think it's been good. Our back line has been, ever since Bees went out, like, we've been growing in confidence. We've been growing in chemistry. And, it shows. The more time you are together, the more you learn each other and the more you feel comfortable with each other. So I think that's taken on a good life of its own right now. And I'm excited to continue these last 5 games with these guys.
Thank you, Brad. That was the last question for today. We'll send recordings of all of today's post-match press conference.